First
Welcome to my
blood.
first video.
An ally has been
Before I
slain.
introduce myself, the first thing I'll get into is what you're seeing in this video. I am starting the game at 3 minutes because my laptop froze and I had to restart it. So by this stage in the game, the enemy jungler, which is a new deer, should be done with his first full clear right now, which puts me very, very far behind. I don't know what happened. I think Insights froze. That's the app that I use to record gameplay. But I'm surprised my team didn't remake and that it even allowed me to get back into the game this late. So what's going through my mind now is I just have to catch up so I'm not completely useless in the late game. So why am I doing this? Well, I was inspired by Ludwig's climb to Plat, one-tricking Amumu. He went from Iron to Plat, I think in about 3 months, maybe a little more, a little less. Either way, it was very impressive. And my own League journey, I started playing League about 1.5 years ago, when just before I turned 42. So I'm 43 now. I'll be 44 this summer. And I thought, okay, if Ludwig can do it, I'm sure other people can, but I figured, maybe the stakes are a little higher with me because, for one, I'm playing on a less than ideal setup. I'm playing on a 15-inch gaming laptop, an Alienware laptop. And I'm much older than Ludwig. So before I go on, we'll see that Udyr ganked and killed top, but when I press tab, I see he's got 30 some odd CS, so he's not too far ahead of me. That means he did his full clear, he did the crab, and I guess he was roaming around looking for plays instead of recalling. Udyr, who I also play as a tempo jungler, he should really be back on his camps, but at any rate, my bot lane has prio, so I feel like it's safe to get the Scuttle Crab here. I say no to the dragon because I'm already behind. I just want to get an item, get back to my camps, and catch up. Thankfully, I think I'm the same level as Udyr here because of catch-up XP in the jungle. I think I hit level 3 on my first quadrant, which was kind of crazy. But at any rate, I thought I would do this little challenge for myself to see, if an old boomer like me, I mean, technically I'm a millennial, can climb if I actually started taking the game seriously. Because if you look at my OPGG, which I will post in the description, I have been playing since the end of the first split of 2023. And if you look at my games, I've been all over the place. I've played mid, I've played ADC, I think I might have even played some top games. I tried some off-meta junglers like Shen. Here I see Udyr going for the Void Grubs, so instead of doing my camps, I'm not sure if this is the correct play, I decided to go straight to the dragon and just do the dragon and trade something. Plus, as Shyvana, we want to stack dragons, right, to get our passive going. I stop hitting the dragon here because I don't have smite yet and I don't want Lux to steal it. And I start hitting it once my smite comes back up. And I do want to leave here. I definitely don't want to die to these guys. So I decide to leave. I have nothing to buy really, but I guess I'm recalling so I can get back to my top camps. I look up and I see that, it's 3v1, it's fine. But as soon as I see Aurelia here, I decide to come up to see if I can get an assist, which I'm not sure is the correct play, but I do get a kill there, and I believe I get this kill here as well. So maybe it wasn't the best decision, but it worked out. If I made that same play out of 100 games, who knows what the percentage, what the success percentage is. But at any rate, I've been playing a million different champs, and I have decided to just buckle down, stick to one role, stick to one champ, a simple champ. I don't want to do a Mumu because, number one, okay, so I see Udyr has 50 some odd CS there, and that makes me think he took my topside camps already, so I just go back bot. But yeah, I don't want to play Moo Moo because I think he's kind of boring, even though he is a powerful jungler. It seems he's never really bad in the meta. I mean, how bad can he ever get with his R and his engage tools? But I also don't want to play mechanically difficult junglers like Lee Sin, Nidalee. So I've decided to stick with Shyvana here. Why? Because I have the skin and I have the chroma. That's literally it. No other reason. You know, I don't love Shyvana as a champ, although I think she's pretty decent. I do believe she's like B tier right now on some lists. She's not very powerful. I pick up these camps here to trade since I think Udyr took my topside camps. And I saw Udyr and Lux top. So I'm thinking, okay, Aurelia's probably diveable. Taric has his ult, so we should survive a dive. And now I just have to wait for them to push this wave in so we can actually kill Aurelia. But yeah, I mean, Shyvana seems like a decent champion. You know, she's not like a gank champion. She's very farm and item reliant to do her damage because, you know, she doesn't stun anybody. She doesn't, she's not really good at ganking. She's more of like a late game, mid to late game team fighter. You know, if you get your items, you throw a couple E's out, you chunk people down, and you either get some kills or you make it easier for your team to get some kills. Or at least when you're fighting around objectives and you have your ult, if you throw your E at someone a couple times and chunk them down, they're out of the fight, right? So in games, this is in Bronze 4. In Bronze, where games, I've been in games that have lasted almost an hour, I think having the damage, just like straight up damage, can help carry games versus if you're a tank and you're facing any tank shredders like Master Yi, Vayne, Kog'Maw, it doesn't matter how tanky you are in the late game, you're gonna get destroyed if you don't have anybody who does damage on your team reliably. I'm checking my top camps here, even though I suspected Udyr took them, but they're either up or back up. I'm not sure. I didn't track these camps very well. I don't know if I should have recalled to spend my gold, but at any rate, I'm here. I'm going to do these camps, and I am definitely not looking to fight or do anything else after this, but I want to recall and buy my item because I saw that I do have Shojin in the pocket now. I just have to go buy it. Yeah, so right now I think I have some pretty big disadvantages going for me if I'm trying to hit Plat, let alone Diamond. Is, for one, I'm playing on a 15-inch laptop. It's an Alienware, I forget the model. I bought it in the summer of 2023 when I got COVID so I can play some games. So I could play TFT really, because I was playing TFT at work on my phone during meetings, and you know, when I should have been working, I was playing TFT. And I thought, oh, this is fun, but it kind of sucks to play it on my phone, so maybe I'll buy a laptop, play some games on. So yeah, I bought this from Best Buy when it was on sale, and I've been spamming a lot of League and TFT ever since. I've also played a little bit of Valorant. It's hard to play shooter games on this really small screen. So we'll see how this goes. Here, my bot lane is pretty strong. We've killed Aurelia once. So I figured I have my ult up. I might as well, you know, my top caps aren't down. Might as well come down here and try to make something happen, get some kills, get the dragon, right? So I could just leave here, let Lux go, and do the dragon. She's too low to come and help or contest. Although if she has ult, she's going to try to steal. I see Udyr chasing after my mid laner. I think this is a big mistake from Udyr because his mid laner just died, and his support is well, not AFK, but off the map, right? So we do maybe waste a little time chasing him here, but I figured, you know, I'll take what I can get since I got into this game very, very late. But now I'm 4-0, and I think I'm the same level as Udyr. I might be a level up, I'm not sure. But this Taric has been the GOAT. Like, he helped out tremendously. So
spree.
I do feel comfortable and confident when I'm around him. I don't know exactly what his abilities are. I know he can stun people and he can make us invulnerable. I guess that's his ult. But I don't really know what else he does. But you know, he can keep me alive and he can stun people. That's good enough for me. That's what Shyvana needs, because on my own I don't have any tools to 1v1 anybody, right? I think Aurelia is also griefing here a little bit because she heard us finish the dragon. She knows that her support is not here, but yeah, I guess when people get desperate, they get a little greedy, they try to catch up. But the effect that it has in the long term is the complete opposite of what she wants, right? It's 13 minutes, she has 58 CS. I can see how maybe she's getting a little bit desperate.
The quiet.
I guess I would too if I were in that situation. So, yeah, I am going to try to break my terrible habit of playing different champs in different roles. You know, my thing with this game was I would get enjoyment out of learning what new champs would do, how they want to play out their, you know, their kit, their game plan, the role, and especially champs that had cool skins. If the champ had a cool skin, I would just play the champ in the role, even if I didn't play top lane, but I have like a really cool Mordekaiser skin or something. I would just queue up in a rank and be that guy, you know. So if you're one of those guys who are like, oh shit, you know, my top laner is first timing Mord in top lane. Sorry, I guess, but that's low elo for you. I see a play here. I have my ult. I think this is free. Yeah, I'm not sure if we get anything here. I can't remember, but I tried. Yeah, see that E does a lot of damage, even though I think Shyvana was nerfed fairly recently. I see a couple people here. I don't want to give over my shutdown and die, but again, I'm pretty strong. They're not. So yeah, free kill, free camps. And I think I should probably just do my own camps now. There are no objectives up. I think the Rift Herald is spawning, but I don't want to play topside since this Mordekaiser is super weak. I feel like even though Tom Kench is just a tank, he does enough damage to where he could probably 1v2 us if he's really strong. Because I don't have any tank shredding items, right? I haven't finished Leandry's yet. But yeah, if I do 1, 2, maybe 3 champions, you know, I listen to the BBC podcasts and they're always about process and small champ pool and, you know, playing in blocks, small blocks. That may be more conducive to climbing. So I would like to get the Rift Herald here because they did unfortunately get all 6 scrubs since our top lane was losing. But I figure if I stick with Shyvana and only jungle, maybe I can, you know, in a year, who knows, we'll see. I'm going to call this series Climbing the Diamond because who wants to see anybody just climbing the Plat? That's kind of boring. Plus, Ludwig already did it, right? I don't want to go doing what everybody else is doing. Even though I have a little bit of a different angle than him, being that I'm much older. But I don't think age has too much to do with how good you are at this game, at least. Maybe in other games where reflexes and game knowledge require a lot more and is more suitable to people who are younger. I don't know. I don't know the biology behind all that, but I do think that it's possible for me to at least climb. All right, this is a little sketchy. They both just jumped in here. I win the smite. I'm not sure if Udyr didn't have smite or if he wasn't focused. And I do get to pick up the eye. So I'm thinking I'm going to do my camps, but I have my ult up and I see these guys coming in. So instead of ulting into them, I ult away or to the side because while I am tanky with Shojin and my passive from the dragons, I don't think I'm tanky enough to jump into an Aurelia and Yasuo, you know, who can stun me and knock me up and do all this. So I just want to truck them out, get them away from me, take this tower, and then go to the dragon. I think so far this has been working out pretty great.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
I started the game at 3 minutes because of my technical issues, and here I am at 18 minutes, 8-0. This is going to be our third dragon, I believe. I don't think it's sold yet. It's not even 20 minutes yet. But yeah, Shyvana is probably not the greatest champ to climb, I guess, because it doesn't have the engage tools and CC tools that Amumu has, which is what Ludwig used to climb. So if your team is behind, say you have, you know, 3 losing lanes, it seems like it would be easier to carry games on Amumu, I suppose, because he does do damage, he can heal people, and I guess you can kind of use your R as a defensive tool also, right? Alright, so even though my Mord is the weakest player, I'm pretty strong. I don't think I can defend this tower. Yeah, I definitely can't. But I'm also not afraid of Udyr. Because he's griefed his game, right? He had such a big lead on me. He really should have won this game. He should have been destroying me in my own jungle, really. But he wasted a lot of time doing I don't know what. I guess getting his Tahm Kench strong. But I don't see Tahm Kench as ever being the win con for their team. Yeah. With Shyvana, I'm not quite sure, and maybe somebody will comment and give me some helpful advice about this, but if your whole team is behind and you're pretty even, or maybe decently strong, you still are very ult-reliant in the mid to late game to get anything done, because if you don't have your dragon form up, you're gonna do nothing. You're just like a walking minion, basically. Maybe a minion wave would still do more damage than you. But, so it requires you to hit camps, hit wards, hit blast counts, hit minions, hit anything you can to get your ult up. And then when you do have your ult up, even though your E is a very large AoE ability, you still need to hit it, right? And so with all these champs with mobilities, dash, or if you, like say you can't even walk up to hit it, you know, what are you going to do? You have all the damage in the world, but you need to hit it, and you need to be able to walk up to hit it, right? And if your team is weak or behind, who's going to follow up on your damage? So, I don't know. On the other hand, if the game goes to 50 minutes, I'm not sure if I'm not sure I should be starting this objective, but I see Udyr mid. He's coming towards us. Maybe I'm getting a little too greedy. I am afraid of Tahm Kench here, because if he like slows me and swallows me and does all this stuff, then the whole enemy team can burst me down, because at this stage of the game I'm pretty squishy now, right? But yeah, if you get full build or even slightly ahead on Shyvana, maybe it doesn't matter if your team is behind. Like your 1E, if you can hit it. I mean, here are the conditions you need, right? You need to have your ult up. You need to actually be able to hit your damage, and then your damage has to mean something, because like if you chunk the enemy team to half health, it's not the end of the world if they have lifesteal, omnivamp, if they're still tanky. If you do all that damage and your team can do nothing to follow it, right? I guess you would just have to start raiding stuff on the map or doing stuff elsewhere. But then again, any jungler can do that, right? Except maybe like Maokai. These junglers who don't have good wave clear. Anyway, I'm just yapping on and on about my choice, but I think Shyvana is probably a fine choice for climbing. It seems simple to play. I can focus on other stuff in the game. She farms really well. She does a lot of damage, and her weaknesses don't seem that bad. So I'm gonna try to just buckle down, stick to this one role, stick to jungle, stick to Shyvana because, you know, I have a cool skin and this pink chroma for her. And so far, I don't think I get bored playing her, even though she's not, the most mechanical or exciting. She's not Lee Sin. Can't really do anything flashy on her. I think even Kane and Briar and these champs are more fun. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with Shyvana for now. If she's picked or banned, I guess I'll play Udyr or I don't know who's another simple jungler. Nocturne seems like a good choice because everyone says he's a low elo terror, and I can see that. A lot of players in low elo, I guess, can miss position like that Irelia did a couple times earlier, and Nocturne can capitalize on that, right? But the problem I've had with Nocturne when I've tried him out is these low elo games that go really late game, where they have a good front to back team comp and good peel, right? Once people start grouping up in the late game, if you're Nocturne and the enemy team is strong, it feels like there's nothing you can do. So let's say you get ahead, but the enemy team stalls and scales, like they have a big Armid, a Jinx ADC, and like a Leona or Lulu or a Janna or something, and they're grouped up to team fight. Someone hopefully can tell me what you're supposed to do in situations like that, where if I ult the Jinx, I just get one shot, right? Veigar will kill me, Janna will peel, Leona can peel, I can get stunned. It's really tough with Nocturne if you don't really capitalize on the mid game and then close the game out early, because if you're 45-50 minutes into the game and the enemy team just starts grouping up every objective, every team fight, it can be really, really hard for you to play the game unless you find like the perfect moment when everyone's abilities are on cooldown and you can jump in. So for now, I'd rather just stay in the back, poke people, chunk people down with my damage. So that's why I am choosing Shyvana. And because she's B tier, I don't think she'll get picked or banned very often, so I don't think I'll have to worry about picking a second or third jungler, but if I do, I'll probably play Udyr because his playstyle is very similar. You want to power farm your camps, get items, get strong, dump your empowered R on somebody on a team later in the game, or empower your W to stay alive and let the enemies cook. So I'm just gonna ward here. I think
your team has destroyed a turret.
So with all this craziness going on, Sion, who was our ADC, somebody almost dodged the champ select because we had Sion ADC, but then we thought Yasuo was going to be the ADC, so we're like, whatever. Turns out Irelia was playing bot lane. Udyr is coming. Although we do have super minions going down mid, and I'm pretty strong here. I feel like if Udyr comes, we just kill him. Did he flash across the wall? I think he did. Yeah, so if any of you are wondering if this is truly bronze, iron, MMR, there's your evidence. So we get the Baron, and my plan now is to just not fight and push out these Baron waves, right? The mid inhib respawned. Sion is going bot. He's pretty strong, so I figure I'll go bot with him, but I am pinging to push the mid wave because I don't think we should all group mid, or group bot, sorry. I think we should push 2 lanes. The bot tower is already fairly low, so I think taking that tower should be easy. And Sion and Tarek are moving mid. Mel is already mid, so this is perfect. I think Mordekaiser's mid too. I can't see him on the map. But yeah, this will be my journey into climbing. I don't know, however high I think I can climb. I think I could probably make it to diamond in a year. I don't know. Um, if I follow some kind of process, you know, 3 blocks and all this, sticking to one role, one champ. If I stop goofing off with Gen Jungle and all these other weird off meta picks, instead of taking this tower, I see this here. I decide to just ult in, and yeah, we end the game here. Ion Type told me to stop playing like a bitch, which, you know, I'm not going to listen to and give over a 700 gold shut down. I'm like a 9-0. I don't think I need to listen to what anyone else in the game is telling me to do. But, yep. I hope you enjoyed this game, and hopefully see you in the next one.